Good morning, YouTube family. It is Saturday morning. It's early. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be talking Chiefs versus 49ers. Big matchup tomorrow on Sunday. We got a Super Bowl rematch, guys. This game is going to be dynamite. Everybody's been looking forward to this game. It's been the talk of the NFL for the last week. Right now, the 49ers are favored. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go over the betting outlook, the betting projections, looking at where the lines sit right now. Let you guys know exactly how the line is now, how it started, what the odds are. We're going to talk a little bit about my opinion on how this game's going to go. And at the very end, I'll give you some player props to think about putting in on your slip today, the player props that I actually really like. This is my free pick video for today. So looking at it, guys, it's Sunday, October 20th. That's the matchup. That's tomorrow, 2:25 Mountain Time, 4:25 Eastern Time. Figure out your time zone from there. It's at Levi's Stadium. The Niners are playing at home, which I think is a benefit to them. 65 degrees, weather should not be a factor. That is perfect football weather. Right now, the line sits at San Francisco -1.5. They are slightly favored. The Chiefs are a slight dog. A lot of people on the internet right now are a little confused as to why the Chiefs are the underdog, sitting at 5-0 on the season, when the 49ers are 3-3 on the season. Well, guys, I don't think that record really speaks to the truth about who the 49ers are as a team. Yes, they're without Christian McCaffrey, so I think that has a lot to do with why they're 3-3. Jordan Mason has filled in well. Don't get me wrong. Jordan Mason has been a great running back for the 49ers in the absence of Christian McCaffrey. He did go down with the injury last week. He hit that AC joint pretty damn hard, but he is not supposed to miss any time. He's supposed to be playing in this game. If you guys aren't familiar with what the AC joint injury is, it's just a shoulder injury where there's a joint that connects. I'm not a doctor, so hear me out if I butcher this explanation, but there's the joint up here that connects the clavicle to the shoulder bone, from what I remember them telling me when I had this injury back in college. But it is something that you can play with. I was not even getting paid to play football, and I didn't miss any time with this injury, and I almost needed surgery. So I know Jordan Mason can play with this injury. He's supposed to be playing today, on Sunday, tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon. I apologize. Now, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a quick second. But let's get back into the betting lines. Niners favored -1.5 at home. This line opened up at Niners -1.5. There has not been any movement with it. A lot of the public bets are going on the Chiefs. So typically what you see throughout a week when the line opens at -1.5, so say everybody's betting on the dog. Everybody's betting on the dog. That line may flip over and switch to Chiefs -1.5. With how much money in public betting is going in on the Chiefs? 78% of public bets are on the Chiefs to cover that spread. 80% of public money is on the Chiefs to cover that spread. Look at the money line. 58% of the public bets are on the Chiefs to win this game. 80% of the money is on the Chiefs to win. So a lot of money is going on the Chiefs. A lot of bets are going on the Chiefs. Not as much on the money line. It's more closer to 50-50. We got 58% to the Chiefs, 42% to the 49ers. But that spread, a lot of public bets and a lot of public money are on the Chiefs to cover that spread. So meaning if the Chiefs lose by 1 or win the game, they're going to win that bet. Just a quick little example, or I guess explanation for those of you that are not familiar with betting lines and how they operate, how they work, what that means to be a +1.5 dog. So a lot of people are saying that they still think that the Chiefs are going to win this game. I, for one, I'm going to say the 49ers are going to win this game. Now, I don't know if I'm going to take that bet. I'm still going to watch this line and watch the movement, watch where the money goes for the next day or so, analyze this a little more before I strike and put in a bet. But I will be putting in some type of bet on this game for my VIP members. Usually I try to put in a bet on the biggest game of the week for college and the biggest game of the week for the NFL. I find a good bet for my VIP members and I send it out to them. I don't know what that's going to be yet on this game. I did send out my VIP pick for college football Saturday, biggest game of the year, Texas versus Georgia. Check out the video. I'll drop it on this video at the end. You can check that out before tonight's game. Going to be huge, guys. If you want to know on the VIPs, there's a link in the description down below. I'll give you 3 days free. Just use code SCRIPT when you sign up. Let me win you some money in 3 days before you get my VIPs, where you're paying me anything out of your pocket. I'm giving you these bets for free 3 days. Code script down at the bottom in the description there. Now let's talk to point total. Right now the over-under is set at 47. Opened up at 47.5. There has not been a lot of line movement in this game, really. All week throughout all these bets being placed, the lines are barely moving. I already told you the spread hasn't moved at all. The over-under is sitting at 47 now, and it was at 47.5. This is consensus. Obviously, there are multiple different sports books out there, and every book has their own lines, their own odds. So if you can find it at a better line or a better price for that line, by all means, take it. I always recommend using an odds screen so that you can compare odds. You don't have to open an app, write it down, open a different app, write what they have down. Get yourself an odds screen so that you can look at it all right in front of you. I'm going to pull up my odds screen right now. We're going to look across the different books, and we're going to compare some lines. I'll tell you which book is best to play each spread, money line, and the over-under. Now, I do pay a lot of money for this odds screen, so you're welcome for giving this information to you for free today. But I just kind of want to give you guys an example of why you should get an odds screen. So, like I said, Niners are the favorite. The money line right now is sitting at -125, is the best odds you can get. Plus 108 is the best odds you can get for the Chiefs. So if you have Circa, you get plus 108 on Circa. If you want to bet the Chiefs to win this game outright, Circa would be the best book to play it on. If you want to pick the Niners to win this game outright, DraftKings would be the best book to play it on. They're sitting at -125 odds. That's just an example of the best place to play your bet. I always recommend getting as many sports books as you can. If it's legal in your state, make an account, because that book might be the best one to play it on. And when you're talking sports betting, getting value is what's important. Getting value is how you become profitable long term. So if, for example, if one book has -110 odds on the money line, another book has -120 odds on the money line, you're going to want to play this bet on the book that has -110 odds, because you're getting 10 cents better value. Make sure you're comparing books. And then right here on the spread, best line is at -1.5 for the 49ers, -110 odds on Bet365. Best odds price compared to line on the Chiefs is Bet Online, +1 spread for the Chiefs at +101 odds. So it's essentially that is a pick 'em. The Chiefs lose by 1, it's a push. You don't win, you don't lose that bet. It's just a tie, essentially. But if the Chiefs win the game, you're getting +101 odds on that spread there, but you still have a chance to push if they lose by 1, which could happen. I think this is going to be a very close game. Then looking at the point total, the best line right now for the Chiefs for this game is over 47, -110 odds on DraftKings, under 47.5 odds on FanDuel. It's -115. So if you're taking the under, do it on FanDuel. If you're taking the over, hit that on DraftKings. So there's your main lines betting outlook for this game. But now, like I said, I'm going to go into a little bit about what I think is going to happen, and I think the Niners win this one. I think they win it in a close game. Being at home, 49ers want revenge, guys. Super Bowl last year did not sit well with them. The Super Bowl in 2020 still, I think, is not sitting well with them. There's a lot that's gone on with these two teams in big games over the last few years, and this one is going to be a dogfight. Yes, Christian McCaffrey's out. Like I said, Jordan Mason should play. He's not sitting on the injury report as a guy that's going to miss this game. So unless something new pops up before tomorrow, Jordan Mason is going to play in this game. Expect this one to be an absolute dogfight. Defensively, offensively, I think it's going to be a good, fun game to watch. Let's get into some player props now. First one we're going with is Brock Purdy on his passing completions. We're going to take him over 19.5 passing completions. And before I get too far into these player props, guys, at the bottom of the screen here, you're going to see a promo code for BETR, BETR is what the app I'm using to put these picks in for today's game. BETR has boosted plays, and I'm not going to give you a boosted play on this game because I don't think any of the boosted plays are really worth taking that are actually going to be winners for us. But I just want to let you know they do have boosted plays, which pays you for 2 picks for making 1 pick. So BETR, get the app SSWIN down here at the bottom. That gets you up to $200 free deposit match on your first deposit. So take the books for all they're worth. Get all that free money you can from them. But back into the props, guys. Over 19.5 passing completions for Brock Purdy. I'm looking at a graph right here. This is against bottom 10 defenses for passing attempts, which the Chiefs are one of those bottom 10 defenses for passing attempts. Now, take that for what it's worth. That doesn't really have anything to do with their play as a defense. That kind of has a lot more to do with their play as an offense. And teams are throwing against them a lot. That's why people are getting a lot of passing attempts on them. But why I'm mentioning that is because of that. Because of that reason. The Chiefs offense scores a lot of points, so teams are forced to throw the ball more to keep up with them. Okay, the Chiefs, obviously their offense is not what they were 3 years ago, 4 years ago. They are still a dynamic, great offense. But what I'm trying to say is, as the Chiefs score, the Niners are going to have to throw the ball to keep up with them if the Chiefs become in control of this game. If the 49ers can establish the run game early, keep the Chiefs off the football field, and kind of control the clock, control the pace of the game, I don't know if the 49ers will have to throw that much. But Brock Purdy has been lighting up the freaking scoreboard as far as passing yards go this season. He hasn't thrown a lot of touchdowns. Last week he finally threw some touchdowns, but passing yards, Brock Purdy's been moving the ball up and down the field through the air. So I do think the Niners are not going to be afraid to throw the football, and if they have to keep up with the Chiefs at all, Brock Purdy's going to be slinging the rock. Over 19.5 passing completions. That's your first prop for the day. Then let's look at Jordan Mason. Like I said, he's supposed to be playing in this game. We're going to look at his longest rush. Right now his line is sitting at 13.5 yards for his longest rush. Here's a fun fact. 6 straight games, Jordan Mason has had a rush longer than 13.5 yards. This is going back to September 9th against the Jets, September 15th against the Vikings, 22nd against the Rams, 29th against the Patriots, 2 weeks ago against the Cardinals, last week against the Seahawks. Jordan Mason usually has a carry over 13.5 yards. That's all I'm going to say about that. 6 straight games, guys. 18 yards was the shortest that he's had in one single game. I'll just read them out to you. 24 yards, 22 yards, 18 yards, 25 yards, 34 yards, and 38 yards. The 49ers are scheming up plays, and Jordan Mason is popping them off. I haven't dove into the film too much on the 49ers this year as far as the All-22, looking at the coaches' tape, to see what kind of schemes they're doing. I do know typically Kyle Shanahan is a zone team. He runs inside zone, outside zone. Haven't looked into too much if they're running power or which types of plays that they are popping off these runs. But I do think Kyle Shanahan, based on his track record and what his daddy taught him, he knows how to scheme the run game, and Jordan Mason is getting long carries. He's getting chunk plays. Take him over 13.5 rushing yards. This is the biggest lock out of these 3 plays I'm giving you guys. This is the one that I think for sure is an easy win. Take that one. Take it to the bank. That one's an easy pick for us. And then I'm going with Mahomes over 240.5 passing yards. Mahomes is a guy that can go for 400 yards at any given point. The 49ers, though, they do have a good defense, and they do have a pretty good track record of holding opponents this season. So I'm not going to say that this is a guarantee, but when I say pretty good track record, I mean they're kind of middle of the road in the NFL. They're 17th in pass yards allowed. The 49ers are, that is. So Mahomes, with this offense, at any given Sunday, he can throw for 300, 400 yards. Typically, he's not doing that, though. This is Mahomes on the road. Okay, in 5 of his last 6 games on the road, he has averaged 238.8 passing yards, which is slightly lower than where we want to see him at, because we want him to get over 240 yards. Last game on the road was the 29th against the Chargers. 245 yards was his total in that game. But I want to look at his total not on the road. overall, in general, his passing total. And in 3 out of the last 5 games, he's gone over it. He went under against the Bengals at 151, and he went under against the Falcons at 217. Last week, he threw for 331. Granted, that was against New Orleans, and New Orleans is plummeting. Great start to the season. Props to the Saints for those first 2 games of the year, but they're just awful since. And then the game before that was against the Chargers. But right now, he is projecting to go over this line, and he's projecting to go over it by quite a bit. He's projecting to get 269 yards, and his line is at 240 yards. So that's 19 yards over. That's 29 yards over what we're looking at here. I like the projections and what they're looking like, and I like Mahomes to go over this line. So lock that one in, over 240 passing yards. If you play all 3 of these picks and you play them on better, it's going to be a 5x payout. That's your picks. That's your slip, guys. That's all I got for you. I just wanted to go over this game. It's the biggest game of the week, in my opinion. Chiefs versus Niners. Super Bowl rematch. We'll see who comes out on top. I'm taking the Niners at home in a close one, in a dogfight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, if you like my content, you like my style, how I do things, hit that subscribe button. Join this army. We're taking it to the books. And again, before I let you go, in the description, there's a link to my free and VIP picks. Use code SCRIPT. You get them free for 3 days. All my picks, VIP and free picks, free for 3 days if you use code SCRIPT. Let's start winning, guys. Let's get it. Have a good weekend.